Hi everybody, it's Kristen. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, then welcome to my channel and I hope you enjoy. Today I'm going to be reviewing some Illesteva sunglasses. I am excited because if you are a current subscriber and you've continually watched my videos, you'll know that I do not kind of venture out of my comfort zone as far as sunglasses go. And today I have done just that. I have gone out on a limb and got something very different from my usual style. And so I'm excited to show you these sunglasses for those of you who want to see this great unisex pair, and then also show you how they look on my face, and it might help you gauge whether or not they'll look good on you. So if you want to see this review, please keep watching. Okay, so I have with me the Illesteva Leonard. Totally butchered that. But you can see here on the back, it says Illesteva Leonard, Havana and cream. That means the front here of this frame is Havana, and then the insides and the temples are cream. You'll see that in just a few minutes. I found that each color combination coordinates with a number, and here we have the L48, and then you can see handmade in Italy. Now, Illesteva is a company based in New York. I think they're designed in New York. I could be wrong, but they are definitely handmade in Italy, and they seem to have a really vast global market. There's like an Illesteva Brazil that's really booming, and then they're readily available in Europe and the UK. So I thought I would try these out. They're also very accessible here where I am as well. There are a lot of sites you can use to try them on. If you can't find them in a store in your area, then there are a lot of sites where you can try them on and then free returns. You don't really lose anything. And then you get kind of the leisure of trying them on at home without having like a salesperson stare at you and try to convince you that you look good in them. So anyway, when they first come out of the box, which I thought the box was very nice, you have the case. It feels like real leather to me. It may not be, but it is very nice. You have the Illesteva stamped in on the front. So you'll see first off here that I have the Havana pair, and it is a lighter color Havana than I thought it would have been. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But inside, these are just temple sleeves. There's also a pouch. This one is microfiber. I don't know if they're all microfiber, but this one is very soft. So, now this particular pair, I have a few kind of disclaimers to make here. This particular pair is a little bit different than their regular like tortoise range. There's like a tortoise, and you can pick some solid lenses or mirrored lenses, and then there is the Leonard Flat, which has like a flatter top, I believe. And then there's a few other things like that. Now there is a Leonard, and there's also the Leonard 2, and those are the two most popular models that they have. They also have some other ones, but these kind of like steal the show because they're their most popular pairs. They're also unisex entirely. So a lot of people find that these glasses work on so many different face shapes, and apparently they're supposed to be so good that they work on people's faces that didn't think they could pull them off. So that's kind of what I did. I kind of did an experiment here to see how they would look on me. I really went out on a limb, as I said before, and got something very different to what I normally do. So I'll put these on for you in just a moment. I just want to talk about some things first off. They do have a gray solid lens, which is interesting. I do like looking out of gray more, but usually you wouldn't put a gray with the Havana frame. You would think you would have a brown. I liked the gray. Now the cream is a little different. As you can see, it's here on the temples and then in the inside. Here we have a 47mm lens width with a 22mm nose bridge and 145mm temple length. Now the regular Leonards this is like a special color combination. The regular Leonards have a 48mm lens width, and I can't figure out why there is a difference when it's like the exact same frame. So maybe someone, one of my subscribers, maybe you know. Now, we also have spring hinges. That's one of the things I'll talk about a little later on. Here in the inside of this temple, you can see handmade in Italy, and then the CE is the European conformation to, regulations, I guess. And then on the other side, you have Leonard, and then you have C48 in your dimensions here. Now, C48, I guess, corresponds with the L48 on the box, but it's kind of a toss-up. I'm a little bit confused about where that is. So, I'm going to go ahead and put these on. Let's not freak out, okay? So the first thing you'll notice is that they're extremely crooked, and I'll show you why that's happening in just a second. It is not a love connection. You don't have to tell me that it doesn't look great. I know this. It was purely experimental, and I actually thought it would work better than it did, but this is just not for me. the shape just doesn't work with my face, and that's just something I'll have to accept and move on to something that does work. That's kind of what you do with sunglass shopping. But it's not only the color that doesn't look right, it's the shape, it's also the keyhole bridge, it doesn't flatter my nose. It's a variety of different things. But overall, you can see here that it's just not a hit with me. A few of the things that I'll talk about really quick is the crookedness. I am trying to find a flat surface and all I can find is my laptop. You can see here when you sit them on a flat surface that this temple is extremely cockeyed. The other temple is laying flat, and this one is quite a bit higher. Now this could be adjusted somehow, but I wouldn't want to take the risk. So, you know, if it were me, I wouldn't try fiddling with anything like that. I'm not really sure how that ended up that way, but I'm not going to fiddle with it because the frame doesn't work for me. Anyway, as far as the quality, I think it seems pretty good. These aren't a cheap pair of sunglasses. They retail for $177, but they're not overly expensive either, so that if they work on you, then that's, you know, I would say it's well worth it. They do have like a warranty policy, or kind of like a repairs thing, where if you're having a issue, you can email them and then they'll tell you whether or not that's something that they can fix. So that's good as well. The only thing that was a little bit concerning to me, especially doing my research, I researched things very thoroughly, was the spring hinges. I'm not a fan of them to begin with, but these feel a little sticky, like possibly, I don't know, one could move differently than the other and one could kind of get caught. And I always end up worrying about spring hinges breaking prematurely before you've gotten good use out of the sunglasses, just because they're a little bit more difficult. So that's just something that I was concerned about, and I thought that for this price point they should have barrel hinges instead. That's just something I thought of. But the lenses feel set in there really well, and it's a pretty decent quality. It's just something you probably have to check out and feel for yourself. But overall, there is the Illesteva Leonard for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would be happy to hear your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. It's already shoddy. Okay, so I'm gonna, is this top see-through? Because I want to make sure I'm not flashing my subscribers and anybody else who may be watching. Okay? Illesteva sunglasses for you, and I'm very excited for you to see these. I think there's not very many on YouTube, and so I thought this would every